Hi, this is Life Prepper here, and this is part of the Joan Seed series, but it's also a DIY deal. Now, what I've got here is Joe Pye root. I'm going to show you this. The best time to harvest this is really in the fall after the flowers has done bloom. Now, if you're not certain what the plant looks like after it blooms, mark the plant you're going to harvest, and then after the flowers are bloomed, then you go ahead and harvest the roots. Now, I went ahead and harvested some of these because, like I say, I was using the flowers to help make my cough syrup with. So you can see here is the roots from here. Now I'm going to get that a little closer. And I'm sorry about the sun coming in the window, but you can see here is a good thick root. That means that's one of the older ones. And again, like I say, do not over harvest your plants here. Do not over harvest. Just get what you need and leave the rest for the following year. That's why a lot of people look at the size of this one. That's why a lot of people says harvest after the flowers are bloomed, so the seeds are allowed to take root and to spread. Now, Joe Pye plant does grow rather easily, and it is a invasive species. So what I want to do here is I've already washed it off once. But you can see I'm still pulling a few things out of it here. Bits and pieces of wood and things like that where I found it. And then what I want to do is I'm taking all of these roots here. And I'm just going to cut them up. Well, I think this one ain't going to work, so I'm going to have to do it this way. So, you just want to take and cut them. And so you can grab them, and then you want to place them on in something, or lay it on something like some newspaper or something other where it can be airy. But if you can do it out in the sun, that's great. But again, what really the best thing to do is wash them again. Now, I'm just using this here little thing I've got right here to put my roots on. You want to cut the roots while they're still fresh. For a simple reason is that once they dry, they get harder to cut up. The Joe Pye root sells for about $2 an ounce to make a tea with. This here was the plant that Joe Pye introduced to the settlers on typhoid fever. This here has many health benefits as well. It's good for to help break down kidney stones. It's good for your bladder. If you got a problem with urination, you got a lot of acid in your urine, this here is good to make a cup of this. Maybe drink a cup 2 or 3 times a day to help cure that. It's great for your blood circulation. It's great for help with your blood pressure. You know, there's just a lot of benefits on this plant here, and it has plenty of vitamins and nutrition in it. This here is great when you're sick. That's where the typhoid fever comes in. This here is a fever reducer plant. You know, make you up a good strong brew of this when you're sick. So you make a good deal here. Now let's say, the root here, this main root, is going to be as hard as a rock. This here is nothing but wood. So this one solid piece here is so hard, there's no way you're going to cut that off. Now it's just nothing but, I don't know if you can hear that. There is nothing soft about it. That part is solid. So what you're doing is you're getting from all these roots here. You're getting all these small roots, you're cutting them up. And again, like I said, I would advise you to take and wash them again. Like I said, I soaked them and rinsed a lot of the dirt off. But I am going to have to, again, for precautionary measure, I want to go ahead and wash them again. And something I will do, even if you do buy dry root online, some of them does a really excellent job of cleaning the roots. Some of them do not. You can see pictures of some of these plants showing the roots, and they look dirty. They just look dirty. They don't look clean, and they didn't do a very good job of cleaning them off. So I would take and just simply rinse them off in cold water and make sure you get rid of any excess dirt. Now look here. This is just what I've harvested. Look here. This is just what I've cut right here. Now once all of this dries, it'll be a lot less. It'll go down quite a bit. So right here, I don't know, probably about an ounce right there. So like I said, once you do this and dry it, again, like I said here, this root right here is hard as a rock. Use this here for colds, flus, fevers, urinary and kidney infections. It's also for people who are feeling tired and run down. This helps in that. It helps with blood circulation. This here is, like I said, this was the plant that Joe Pye made the root tea up for the settlers for typhoid fever. So this in here, you can't go wrong with this plant. So if you got problems with your kidneys, you have kidney stones, you just feel run down and tired, you just need your blood cleaned out good, you got, they call it the groupies, basically things like that. This is something you want to think on. Do some research on this, the nutritional values in it, the health benefits here. I'm not a doctor by any means, but I do believe in the plants and herbs. I have quit taking my blood pressure medicine. I keep it on hand if I need it, but I do not take it. I've been taking motherwort at night, and I'm also taking St. John wort at night for now, but I do rotate out some because of you can build tolerance up to anything. But I do like to make a good cup of herb tea from time to time, especially when I'm feeling bad. I've noticed a difference when I do get sick. I don't stay sick as long as I did since I have started doing more of my herbs and less dependent on the over-counter medicines and prescriptions. And I do still do the over-counter ones, but I do not do them in the way I used to. St. John wort, it also helps in me, and the fact is it helps also in the case of pain and things in that area also. So I'm trying to cut this one piece off, kind of show you in here this root right here. You see this here, how hard this is? Oh God. Now this here is the root right there. That can be used, of course, but this here, I'm more after the little small pieces than I am this big, huge piece, because you see how hard this is. This is very hard, very solid, and that is not what I really am after. I mean, I cannot even, and I could use this as a hammer, but even now, with me just tapping here, I'm still getting more dirt out of it. So, but I'm wanting the small roots is what I'm really after on it to dry and to have as my overall root tea. I'm hoping in the next couple of years I'll be able to start setting up at flea markets and selling some of my roots and herbs that I've harvested. I'm hoping that I can sell some of my smudge sticks I've made. Again, I tell people I'm not into witchcraft or anything like that. I'm a strong believer in God. And Jesus used incense. He loved incense, and he used incense. And it's just something been going on since the beginning of time. But whether I burn the smudge sticks or not, I still have the plant itself to use for other medical benefits that I have dried and harvest in that situation. So this in here, like I said, I looked all over YouTube and other sites looking for people who were drying these, harvesting these to dry, and I didn't really see anybody, so I really wanted to start sharing some of this that I'm doing This here, like I say, I will go back and harvest these after the flowers are done. And again, after I get all this cut up, I'm going to go ahead and put this in some water and wash them out again. And then I'm going to set them aside and let them dry. So this here is Joe Pye plant. You see the size here. Do not harvest until after the flowers are bloomed. If you're not certain about them after they bloom, where they be at, mark them so you'll know. That's what I tell people. Mark your plant so you know where it's at to harvest. Wait till the blooming's done and do not over harvest anything. Just get what you need for you, yourself, in a situation. Even if I decided to harvest these, say, the next couple of years for the purpose of selling them at flea markets so people can get them and everything, I most likely won't harvest no more, maybe a pound or two at the most, even though they grow everywhere. And another thing you need to think about, when you are harvesting plants, harvesting any plants, do not harvest them along the interstates and high traffic areas. That is not a recommended area, because in areas near a lot of these factories that leaks out a lot of oils or whatever, you want to try to find places kind of on these side roads, maybe on a farmland that somebody gives you permission to go on, or anything like that. But you do not want to harvest along interstates. You do not want to harvest along around these factories and stuff, because of the chemicals and things they drop out. So you need to avoid those areas because you want to get a nice healthy root here. And this in here is I harvested along the edge of a park, and then the houses have been, families have been there for years and years, and it's not a high traffic area. You might see one vehicle come by once an hour if you're lucky. So that's why I chose that location to harvest these roots. But again, the only reason I harvest them now is because, like I said, I get the flowers off, I'm using them. Otherwise, I will wait till afterwards, and I have more than enough here for me right now anyway, so I really don't have to harvest anymore. Unless down the road I choose to go ahead and start doing the flea markets and start grinding these and bagging these up. I am going to send some of this to a friend of mine. I got the smudge sticks I'm doing that I want to send her. And then I want to send her some of these roots also. So I want all you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.